my life has touched so many people's lives in this room, and I really am very grateful for getting an award like this. And I'm very, very honored. And I have long admired the work of amfAR's, so I share this with all of you committed to the science of finding a cure. In preparing for tonight, I reflected on the woman who has brought us together, Dr. Mathilde Krim. She knew what I know, that in philanthropy and in business, to accomplish anything, you have to begin with seeing a need. What can you do to help fill that void? I'm always looking to fill a void, and she certainly did. In 1985, Dr. Krim saw an absence of compassion and urgency in AIDS research. So she co-founded amfAR and set out to find people brimming with genius and enthusiasm. The FDA had only just approved the first HIV test that March, and she was already searching beyond that for a cure. I remember that time. For years, I had run a very successful catering business, and many of the young men who were my waiters were gay. The gay community worked and still works in the catering business in New York because they are actors and they are artists and they need to make money. I chose them all on skill and aptitude and good looks, and they were all great. Like me, they had come to New York to live bold, artistic, innovative lives, leaving trails ablaze from places like St. Louis or Dallas, Saginaw or Tallahassee, or my own path, Nutley, New Jersey. Catering can be brutal. It's all about getting everything done on time, building a restaurant every single night, and tearing it down at the end of the evening, and then loading it into the van. But it was also fun, and the pressure would bond us. And I remember when some of these young men would appear sick and then begin to disappear as they died or returned to hometowns, leaving this city that offered us so much life and love and opportunity. These horrible losses expanded to all parts of my life. In October 1985, a month after Dr. Krim co-founded amfAR, I opened my home to a very dear friend so he could die surrounded by love and comfort. He was married to a woman I was very close to, but he also had relationships with men. They, my friend, and his wife had two little children, 5 years old and just over a year old. And before he died, I promised him that I would show his children the world. I did. In 1985, that was all we had to give, comfort and our word. But thanks to amfAR and the important work still being done by people in this room, we can now commit to doing so much more. Because we have to. amfAR kindly supplied me with the latest statistics, and they are alarming. Right now, 40 years into this epidemic, AIDS is one of the leading causes of death worldwide for women between the ages of 15 and 49. Right now, more than 20 million women and girls are living with HIV, but we now have the information that can save them as amfAR works for a cure. I built my career providing women everywhere with the how-to of information, along with the confidence they need to become doers. My audience has also been men, but in my work, I have seen that women often prioritize others' needs over their own. That might explain why women with HIV are often diagnosed later than men, why they are less likely to be on treatment than men, and why 1 in 5 women with HIV do not seek medical care until the disease has already progressed to AIDS. This information is sobering, so let me focus on all that is positive and good in what we can do. With amfAR, we can fund research that innovates HIV prevention medication, turning PrEP from once-a-day pill to a twice-yearly injectable. Can you imagine what a difference you could make for the 4,000 adolescent girls and young women who are infected with HIV every single week? We can safeguard PEPFAR, George W. Bush's emergency plan for AIDS research, which is now on the chopping block, even though estimates show PEPFAR supported countries have cut HIV infections in half. Now we can gather our resources, not just to provide comfort to the dying, but the promise of a cure to the living. We can be doers, and amfAR needs you now. I have been in Toronto with my friend Jose Andres, working on our new NBC show, Yes, Chef. As you know, Jose created World Central Kitchen, which brings food and care to people in crisis around the world. He was doing a conference call with his team in Ukraine, and they were all so depressed about recent news that he asked me if I would come and give them a pep talk. It was my honor to tell them that their work had value and that it is not taken for granted. Let's do the same for amfAR. These are hard times, but we have lived through hard times. We can be inspired by what amfAR has accomplished, and we can stand by them and fund them in all that they are poised to accomplish in the very near future. We have this amazing opportunity to be as bold as those men who came to New York to live out their dreams. And our goal, which is in reach if we keep our commitment, is a cure. So thank you so very much. I'm going to start to cry because it means so very much to me that you're here, sitting here and being generous. And thank you, whoever bought my garden tour. You know, it's fantastic. I look forward to having you there. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.